Greetings and welcome to Picard Season 3, Episode 6 review of the
Hmm.
Necromancer channel. And welcome to Jimmy.
How's it going, Necro?
Not bad, and yourself?
Oh, pretty good. Have had a very busy morning and ready to dive into this episode.
Terrific. So, more of good and bad. Quite a bit of good, a little bit of bad.
So, let's do the spoiler-free, I guess, review first before we go into specifics.
Check it out. It was a pretty good episode, well worth watching, with only a couple of Alex Turdsman's Fifi throwing in strong independent women that lecture to guys a couple times.
Okay.
That's pretty much the bad of it.
Okay.
A couple of illogical inconsistencies.
Yeah.
We'll cover that soon.
Oh, I think I must have had some wool pulled over my eyes because as I watched this episode, I thought this is the best episode I've seen, other than some references to what I'm guessing is from the first 2 seasons of Picard and maybe some of the other shows. I thought it was action-packed, full of genuine, well-intentioned fan service. Fantastic music and cameo after cameo, all welcome except for one of them, but that's a personal preference, not anything to say about the cameo. And a generous helping, plenty of generous helpings of Jerry Ryan. So, wow, I thought it was the best Star Trek that I've seen probably since an episode of Enterprise.
Well, there was quite a bit of original series and motion picture references, which were very well appreciated by our generation, the people they're trying to win back. Now, if you're going to try and cobble a show together with little parts, and when you have these strong independent women lecturing the men, that's cobbling the show together with parts that don't fit. It's disjointed. It takes us out of enjoyment of what was going on. Maybe don't do that part.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to get into the specifics of that because I'm not really sure what you're referring to. So let's get specific now. So let's jump into the spoilers, shall we?
Spoilers zone. More or less, let's just have at it. I thought it was a great method of gathering the old crew. It worked out very well with the introduction scene. We find out that this enemy captain, whatever her name was, I don't even know. Yep, is actually a shapeshifter of some sort.
Ah, good. Okay, so we've established that. We weren't sure if she had something on her hand or if she was like she had a parasite or if she was a shapeshifter. And I really like this line, how she refers to her crew as ill-defined and unshapen. So to me, that says that she's like a higher level of shapeshifter. Remember, Odo used to struggle to really imitate humans, which is why he looked so funny. His ears were difficult. His nose was weird. His mouth was weird. His eyes were weird, whereas Vadic looks like a real human.
So I thought that was a very good method of getting the old crew together because she's going to go after their nearest and dearest. Like
good show.
Good bad guy would. Little bit of battle going on. The battle where they're trying to escape, this tracing phaser, that's power creep. It's kind of bullshit. I'm going to have to call bullshit on that one. DC had tried to do the same thing in the 1980s with their comic series. Somewhere around issue 11, 12, 13, there was a fantastic series after Star Trek 3 where the destroyed Enterprise was suddenly seen in Starfleet space. It turned out to be the alternate universe, the mirror universe Kirk, returning with the Enterprise, original Enterprise, invading Federation space. They had to add tracing phasers to the Excelsior to pierce a cloak. A little bit of power creep, not good. I don't know where they looked that up. They shouldn't be doing that. Especially since they shoot themselves in the foot, because they turn around later on in the episode and they say, well, all the ships talk to each other, so the Titan's always traceable. How does the captain of the Titan not know that? Number one. Number two, what's the point of making phasers that can track you? Let's just
Yeah.
get this, get the script tight and stop cobbling together a show with disjointed parts like that.
Hmm.
That's what you need to do. I
You
have
know,
to
I
say,
didn't. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I didn't really notice any of this, and I think the reason why is this show was loaded with plenty of pictures of Jerry Ryan and Jerry
They
Ryan
also had an attack Tribble. I don't know if
and
you noticed it or not.
Jerry Ryan. No, I was thinking about these photos.
Yeah, well, the
Jerry
attack Tribble was hilarious. It had me laughing out loud, even though attack Tribble was first coined by Sheldon in Big Bang Theory when he was talking about Raj's what was it, the tiny rat terrier or whatever they call those tiny dogs. They used to be rat hunters. Wow.
The Yorkshire Terrier.
Yeah, your attack Tribble.
So actually, a lot of fan service I found in the Daystrom Institute. Something I did want to mention here. How does Raffi know? Raffi Don't Care. How does Raffi Don't Care know about the raw data being on a computer in Daystrom Station's primary vault? How does she know this? How does Worf not know this if she knows it? It's a
True.
bit of exposition.
True. And then you also have her scolding Worf and Riker for having a banter and repartee together. She has to be the strong, independent wham and don't care.
Yeah.
Who puts them in their place and makes them get serious about the mission at hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bit of humor in this where Worf talks about, having been on missions with lovers. And they say they're no longer together. And Jerry Ryan says she's not coming. And he says, good. That's for the best.
That turned out okay.
Yeah, without bloodshed. He says breakups rarely happen without bloodshed on my homeworld.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Then what did Riker have to say? Something about, I don't understand the modern world or something like that.
Oh, something like
that's
that. But
bullshit, and that's another insertion. And no, it's not that our generation doesn't understand. It's that our generation thinks this bullshit is crap. That's what it is. Yeah. We do understand.
It's like a post I saw from one of the very high up and very well-established martial artists, where he was visiting his child's school, because his child defended themselves against a bully at school. And the school said, well, our policy is complete nonviolence. And the martial artist argued, well, what happens if he's getting attacked? He's not allowed to protect himself? And the school said, nope, they're not allowed to protect themselves at all. And so he got onto a campaign to say self-defense is self-defense and a human right. It's a basic human right. You're allowed to protect your body. You're allowed to protect yourself. And he actually won against the school. Excellent. And you think about what goes on at schools nowadays, and what do teachers want? What are the vast majority of people? Well, they want sheep. They want the flock. They want people to be peaceful. They want people to not attack other people. They want everybody to be respectful. They don't want a whole bunch of people who have a capacity for violence, because the capacity for violence that falls into two kind of different camps, right? The capacity of violence, to me, falls into, you've heard the military people talk about being sheepdogs, and then you've got the wolves, right? So the wolves are the bad guys that are looking to take advantage of other people, that don't really care about other people, have no respect for others. And then you have the sheepdogs, which are your police officers and your soldiers, right? So at school, they're not interested in wolves, and they're not interested in sheepdogs. All they're interested in is cultivating sheep. And it completely makes sense.
It's easy for them. It's much easier for them. If you have two children that get into a fight, you can be pretty sure that the bully's parents are going to say, oh, well, our child was attacked.
Yep.
That's what happens so many times.
Yeah. And
I've seen it loads of times. And I've had my martial arts class canceled over exactly that kind of thing. So
interesting. And so you see the comment. So this goes back to the episode. It ties into Riker and Worf's conversation. Worf saying he's a pacifist, and Riker says we're all going to die because he knows that you need sheepdogs. You need them because there are wolves out there. And that's what it's about. It's not about pacifism. It's about having to face down the people that we know are out there. And who's going to do it? The sheep? No. The sheepdogs are going to do it. And the people are out there. And the good thing is you can't stop the wolves. So guess what? You can't stop the sheepdogs. We are going to exist. And just the sooner you realize that we're on your side, the better.
Yeah. Worf being a pacifist, going to call bullshit on that one too. And I believe I did a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there were a lot of good action scenes. I really liked this action scene. Again, the tracing phasers, I just went in one ear and out the other. I didn't really pay attention to it. But wow, talk about fan service on Daystrom. Right?
Absolutely. So, Moriarty appearing, that was genius. Absolutely genius. As soon as I saw it, I said, oh, that is fantastic.
What, Moriarty or this?
Moriarty holding them off.
Okay.
Here you have the Genesis device.
We've got the Genesis device. So this is from Wrath of Khan.
Right. How is that not the best weapon they could possibly get their hands on?
Right. Well, I guess it's hidden in Daystrom for a reason. And then did you see this?
No, I didn't. James T. Kirk, is that his body?
Well, it was the audio that goes along with it, which we can't play, I think, because we usually get dinged for copyright. So the audio that goes along with it sounded like a sickbay bed.
Wow.
Maybe it's a clone.
Unbelievable.
Who knows what the hell's going on? So fan service, but I think this is probably a step too far. But it did raise my eyebrows.
Yeah, dead body's a dead body, man. After about 3 minutes, your brain starts breaking down. So
yeah. Well, don't forget they showed the Tribble too, right? So the Tribbles aren't the Tribbles super powered in this thing? Can't they make you live forever and heal you?
I've never heard anything about that. If they did something stupid with that in a JJ Jerk movie, in one ear and out the other, ignored.
I heard it was in Picard season 2, something about Tribbles,
really?
Where now you become cannibals. You eat Tribbles in your cereal with human DNA spliced into it or something like that.
How stupid
anyway,
is that? I heard something about that. I only heard it being spoken about. It just sounds like idiocy of, oh, let's turn the past on its head.
All right, let's have some fun. Let's see how many of these ships we can name. All right. Can you see them? All right.
Not too well, but it looks like we have a Stargazer on the far right.
Okay, so the Stargazer. Yeah, it's this one, right?
I think so. It's hard to tell for sure.
All right, let's keep going. Let's go clockwise. Then we have...
no clue what that is with your finger there.
That's a Romulan bird of prey. Look at it.
Is it?
Yeah, look at it.
Tell. No,
it's
I can't
a Romulan
really tell.
bird of prey.
It's too out of focus for me.
Balance of power.
Okay.
Or balance of terror, whatever it's called. And then
Motion
this
Picture Enterprise.
Looks like, Motion Picture Enterprise.
And it's not 25% different as far as I can see.
None of them are 25% different.
Behind it, we had the Bounty, which was a Klingon bird of prey.
Yeah. This, it looks like some type of shuttle. I can't really tell. It's
from
dark.
Behind, I remember seeing behind the bird of prey, we have a Klingon D7.
Yep.
Also known as a D7M, if it's motion picture era. D7A, if it's original series era.
Okay.
I don't know where the Constitution from the original series is. I can't make that out at all.
I couldn't either. It says Constitution class by the looks of it, but it's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
Like what we have here, it looks like Reliant class, doesn't it?
Yeah, there was definitely a Miranda class, which is what the Reliant is. Yeah. Chandley is a Faza design, really good design, which is supposed to be a marine craft, which Gene Roddenberry was rather upset over.
Oh, okay. Because he didn't want a particularly military, is that why?
That's right. Didn't want it to be particularly militaristic.
Okay. Hard to tell.
I think that's something from the first Next Generation series, TMP mix movie. What was that film after Star Trek VI, Undiscovered Country?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Boy, Picard loses his family in a fire. He finds Kirk, and I believe this was one of the several
the cosmic string.
Yeah, that
Generations.
saved them. Yeah, on Generations, it saved the crew from the planet. I think one of those is one of the ships. I'm not sure. Appears to be Voyager.
Voyager. Nice callback to that later.
No idea what the hell that is. Oh, is that it?
Looks like the Excelsior to me.
Yes, it does from the impulse engines from here. Yes, it does.
Yep.
So that would be a Excelsior class, so far as I know.
Yeah. Hard to tell.
Acula? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, very strange. And then
Definitely the Constitution.
yeah, for sure.
Constitution class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
There it is. Good. Well done. We named most of them, didn't we?
Good fan service and nicely done, I would have to say.
Yeah. Bringing the band back together, eh?
The way Geordie acted was not Geordie.
Okay.
So no, I'm sorry. When you get older, being a chicken shit who's afraid of his own shadow and afraid to move, no, that's not Geordie.
Right.
I realize that you have to do something with your story requirements. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You want to serve these characters, then as soon as you get them, they're ready to go. They don't have any fright. They don't have any reluctance. No. It doesn't build drama to say, well, no, Captain, I can't do that. I can't do that. When you know he's going to in the end anyway. You're wasting our time. You're insulting our intellect. You're harming the character. No. When you come across the character, it's what can I do for you? That was a very good callback to the first episode.
Yeah.
With the tone.
So much fan service, I thought. So much, callbacks and member berries, but not in a negative sense.
Yep. Nicely done.
And then we find out who the computer is.
At first, I thought, oh, again?
Yeah.
He's died twice and you're bringing him back again?
Yeah.
But then the way they did it, I thought, well, okay, it's not so bad after all. All right.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, this is the way to do it. And I do like his arc later on, how he switches between data and lore, and then that Sung guy. And well done, Brent Spiner. Good acting chops.
Fantastic acting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In one scene, in one cut. So there's no cutting. He just does it. Yeah, and you know who it is.
Yeah.
As soon as you see Lore with a cheeky grin.
Lore. Oh, it was good. Where they got Lore, who cares?
Yeah, doesn't matter. They got him.
It worked.
More Jerry. Oh, wow. I tell you, if you're going to have anybody from any of the extended series, you pick the right person. Right? And so here she's talking to Picard Jr. about all the different ships, and I love these close-ups. Such good close-ups. Here we have.
Oh yes, Defiant. I forgot about Defiant.
The Defiant. Yeah,
that's the ship they should all take, and they should all be on. Doesn't work out the codes. It has a cloaking device on it. Isn't that the one they should have gotten?
Yeah, they should have just jumped in and taken it.
Let's take the Defiant.
Yeah,
better ship to use. Don't think
Worf's familiar with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't think she's fully out of date as the Titan. 1975. I wonder why they put that number. Maybe that's when they decided to do Star Trek Phase 2, which eventually became The Next Generation. Hard to say.
And the New Jersey. So maybe they're Frankie Valli fans or something. Yeah, interesting. There must be a reference there. New Jersey, 1975. Yeah, but what a great... It's nice to see a Constitution class original series era. Harkens back to where it all started, doesn't it?
Yep. And that's nice to see. And it's nice that it's not 25% different.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe if you went with that in Strange New Worlds, you'd have a lot more people on your side.
Yeah. And then, it's funny because you hear Jack Crusher say that this is probably his favorite ship. And I think that's the case for a lot of people, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the motion picture era.
Yeah.
Starship Enterprise. And boy.
Best design.
Yeah.
So
they're bringing out their big guns with this fan service, I think.
Film came out in 1979 in a response to counter Star Wars, or to make money. Since Star Wars was big, Paramount said, well, let's do something just as big. What do we got? We've got Star Trek. Yeah, Phase 2 is in development. Well, let's turn it into a film instead.
Yeah. Here we go. And then Jerry Ryan has a moment where she thinks about Starship Voyager and where she says, where I was born. Right? Because I guess she doesn't really remember being... Did she say reborn? She might have said reborn. Because she was, wasn't she? She was assimilated as a young girl as Annika Hansen and was aboard most of her adult life until, that she was rescued by the crew of the Voyager. So I'm sure there's plenty of fond memories there for her.
Geordie gets a little bit of lecturing from a whammon.
Oh, hang on, just let's enjoy this picture for. Isn't that great? It just lights up the whole room with because the smile reaches her eyes too. It's just fantastic. All right, and then let's not forget the HMS Bounty from Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. Is that right?
Yep. Was never crazy for that film.
Yeah, a bit too comedic and a bit too current era.
Saving the whales message. Yeah, I was already with that years before. So they were preaching to the choir with that film. Probably among Star Trek fans, they would really be preaching to the choir, more or less, I would have to say.
I guess so. True fans rather than just normies who are just kind of consuming movies because it's what's in the theater at the moment. And then we had the Cloaked Titan. Now that cloak, like I understood, I didn't understand what was happening at first, where the inside of the ship starts phasing. I thought, what the hell? That doesn't make sense. That's never happened.
That's not how cloaks work.
Yeah.
They're cloaking shields. That's what they've always been called, from Balance of Terror.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But not since, what was it, the Enterprise incident, has a Federation ship stolen a cloak and tried to install it, right? Has they ever done that?
That's right. The cloak on the Defiant was under agreement with the Romulans.
Yeah. So not since the original series we're talking.
Presumably the cloak's been removed for the museum ship, I suppose.
Well, I mean, they stole it from the HMS Bounty to put it in the Titan.
Yes.
That's the story.
So then that's where this cloak would come from. So.
Yeah. Oh, you mean presumably the Defiance cloak has been removed?
That's right.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Maybe. All right. So, overall, I think it's a really great episode. I couldn't really fault it at all. I didn't see the lecturing as much as you did. I just thought it was probably because it was Raffi, because I just tune out whenever she starts talking.
That's it.
Really
and
like
then we have Geordie's daughter lecturing him. So, and
okay.
And
well, I have a daughter.
Another. So. Yeah, they had another. Oh yeah, they had another
so
bad
thought,
scene.
That sounds about right.
Oh, really?
No.
Right. Well, they had another bad scene that you're going to enjoy later. The daughter told her father, "Well, you wanted me to be an engineer, but I just wanted to fly ships. That's what I did. So I didn't want to do the engineering." And later on, she tells him how to do the engineering.
Yeah.
With Data.
Yeah.
Okay. Inconsistency like that, it happens with Trek, sure. But 5 minutes after you've just done a scene, come on. Let's get a little bit better there, story group. Yeah. So out of those 4 or 5 bad points, I don't want to focus too much on the negative. Everything else is a good 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I would have to say this episode is 9.5 out of 10. Despite the 4 pullbacks.
Yeah.
You're going to show me the Constitution, and you're going to show me TMP Enterprise, and they're not going to be different. You're going to have a Klingon that doesn't look like a congealed lump of shit, like in the Discrapery show. Hey, you've got me. It works.
I like the plot twist at the end. So where Riker gets captured by Vadic, finds out it's Vadic. They're beating him up. They're Federation officers beating him up, and I think, hang on a second, this is not Federation. Federation doesn't beat up on its citizens. What are we trying to do? The same thing as the New Republic in Star Wars, The Mandalorian now, where they torture their people? Is now this is the same idea? And of course, we find out, no, it's not the Federation. Indeed, it's Vadic that's beating the crap out of him, holding a gun to his head. And yeah, I like that. That was a good twist. And here he's saying, you think I'd betray my family or betray my friends? And then they show Deanna Troi, and I'm like, yeah, betray her. Why do you like her anyway?
Yeah, she's looking like quite the grandma now.
Oh boy, acting like it too.
Yeah.
What was the other big twist at the end?
If
you
you're
remember?
beating on people, I mean, really, you're amateur. You don't beat on people to get an answer. No. If you have Troy you put Troy right away. You start beating on people, you're going to build resistance against yourself. You're not going to cause them to crumble unless they're a coward who really doesn't like pain. Well, that could be some of the generation today, but
Yeah.
and there are other ways to cause pain without clocking someone in the teeth and in the face, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a little bit bullshit, a little bit ridiculous, but I guess that's what they're showing.
Yeah.
Maybe
what did you think about? Go.
maybe the audience who's watching is not quite as sophisticated as we'd hope,
They're all
it
sheep.
would be.
Most of them are sheep,
Hard to say.
as they should be. So that's okay. What did you think about the? We've got Picard's corpse twist at the end as well, and that he's the big weapon.
Yeah, like why and in what way?
Well, I mean, they made a whole movie about that. Nemesis was all about having a Picard clone, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't picture Picard being a weapon. The Genesis device, great.
Sure.
Terrific. They ran off with the Genesis device.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work for me. You've got a whole planet you can wipe out, generally the Earth. It was not only the threat of Star Trek II, Star Trek III, with the Klingons saying there shall be no peace as long as Kirk lives over the Genesis incident. Klingon Academy, General Chang, Amanda Plummer's father, Christopher Plummer, ended the final mission, graduation, with a simulated attack on Earth. With you must protect this frigate to arrive on Earth. Make sure this frigate arrives at Earth. What was the frigate carrying? A Genesis device. Boom. There goes Earth. There goes the moon. There goes the Enterprise and the Excelsior protecting them.
Wow. Very cool. Anyway, so that's about it. I don't have anything else to say about this episode. I really enjoyed it. And, when they started showing those old ships, I got to say, there were some little throat got a little tight. And then they showed me Jerry Ryan and the throat got even tighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Good episode, despite a few drawbacks.
Okay, good.
Get rid of the drawbacks, and you have a stellar episode.
What did you guys think about it? Tell us in the comments below. We'd like to hear. Like, share, subscribe. And otherwise, we will catch you next time.
Live long and prosper.